Alright, so welcome back guys, or welcome to this your first time here. I'm Vision here with Blind Entertainment, bringing you guys another video. Today I'm giving you guys my review for The Walking Dead, Season 10, Episode 8, The World Before. Now, if The Walking Dead is something you're interested in, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and hit that bell icon. That would miss more Walking Dead content from me moving forward. Now let's begin. Now we start this episode off with a flashback where Alpha gives Dante his orders to infiltrate Alexandria. Now I like this opening, and I like what they did with Dante, showing how he got to our community and how he went about, getting there, and the people he ran into, and just Alpha giving his overall assignment. I thought that was a really good, strong opening, and I really like what they did with his character in the opening. I'm still mixed on the reveal, but I did like what they did with his character in the opening, and I do like the actor. However, my biggest con is that there's just so many plot holes that I still see, and unless they're revealed in the first few episodes of the second half, then I might be able to get past them, but if they're not, I might have to do a whole video about them, because they're just bothering me too much. But I did like what we got in these flashbacks. You learn that Dante was the one who put up the Silence the Whisperer stuff. I really like that. That was something unexpected, and I thought that was a really cool idea, where he's the actual Whisperer, yet he's doing a misdirect. I really like that idea. And then you got the reveal that he killed the old lady from the previous episode. Now, I'm curious as to why that is. I hope that's explained, because it's like, why would he just kill her? I don't know. It just felt out of place as to why he would kill her. So that's another one where I'm like, I hope they explain it, because if they don't, I feel like it's another plot hole. But I doubt it's going to be explained. It just feels weird. She could have lived, she could have died, unless she figured out who Dante was. I don't think it mattered, but it just bothers me a little bit too much. So I do kind of hope we get some kind of clearance as to what happened there. But overall, did enjoy the opening minutes to this episode. Then we get caught up with present day stuff. And you got Rosita, who comes to check in on Dante, or she was coming to check in on Sadiq, but she finds Dante there. Dante lies and says Sadiq went to check on some family. However, as they're talking, you got Walker. Sadiq wakes up, and Rosita hears him and questions Dante, and Dante kind of steps in and tries to attack her. Now, this is where I'm mixed on this whole thing, because I thought that they end up fighting, the baby ends up getting knocked to the ground, and they end up fighting. Now, I didn't really like the fight scene, mainly because I feel like with the fight scene, I feel like Rosita easily took him down. Now, I'm not being sexist, but Rosita doesn't look like she has the strength to take on someone like Dante. And I just feel like the fight was just too easy for her. So that for that reason, I got to knock down points. Then we got to Walker Sadiq. And this is one where I'm like, I don't know what went on here. I don't know, but he looks less like a walker and more like a werewolf. I don't know what happened here, but it looks like really stupid and ridiculous. He looks like a werewolf instead of a walker, and it just takes me out of the moment. And I feel like it didn't add any tension, because we knew the baby was going to live, because while they're fighting, he's going for the baby, but we knew the baby was going to live, so that just took away some tension. But Rosita ends up killing this Walker Sadiq. Now, meanwhile, you got Aaron, who meets with Gamma again. Now, this time meeting with Gamma, she offers him up information regarding the location of Alpha's herd in exchange for seeing her nephew, who was adopted at Hilltop. Now, I like this idea. It was a very interesting idea, and I like the conversation between the two of them. And you got Gamma, who reveals her actual name to be Mary. So, I feel like this was a strong moment. It added some more to these two characters, and I'm, again, very curious to see what they do with these two characters moving forward with their stories. Then we go back to Alexandria, where you got the group interrogating Dante, and he pretty much is going off about how, this place isn't built to stay. I never wanted to kill Sadiq. I like Sadiq. And their question as to why he just waited to kill him now. And he just goes on a tirade about how, this place is going to fall. You're just building up what used to be. This is nothing that's going to stand. And I really like what Dante was saying here. It was a very good moment. And you got Aaron, who returns and relays the information to our group about that Gamma gave him. And you got him, Carol, and Daryl talking to try to figure out what to do. And they eventually agree to go check out the information. But then you got Gabriel, who gives a speech at Sadiq's funeral, So I really liked the funeral speech. It was nice, and I really like what Gabriel's speech was about. And I think I like the funeral scene mainly because we don't really get too many of these anymore. I feel like when someone dies, they're just kind of thrown in the ground and we never actually get to hear their story. So I like that they added that bit in here. But after the funeral, you got Ezekiel who shows up and he talks to Carol. Now, I like one of the things he said about how he felt like Sadiq was one of those people that was going to live on forever in the sense that he wasn't going to die so soon. So I really like that. My one con with this moment, though, because I really like the stuff between these two characters, my one con, however, was I wish that Ezekiel had told him about his cancer. I really hope that comes up soon, because if not, it's going to bug me more. Then you return to Gabriel, who's rewatching Dante's interview tape. Now, I really like how they kept up with the interview tape, and it's revealed during the interview tape that they still ask the newcomers the same 3 questions that Rick used to ask people. So I really like that nod to that past. So I really like that. And you got Gabriel who talks to Rosita, who comes in and says he's just curious as to what else he lied about. Like, he's questioning everything, and he's just confused as to everything that's been going on with Dante and everything. And you got Rosita who has come back, and she ended up getting in a tussle with some walkers, and she needed help from Eugene, and now she's freaking out because she feels like she can't die now. She has Coco to take care of, and she's just, I guess she was scared to fight now. And you got Gabriel who fires back saying that she can fight, she can do this, she needs to get a hold of herself, which I agree. I feel like these moments are one of those moments again that we keep having this season where it's just moments that we don't need and are just used to fill up time. So they annoyed me. It just frustrates me because we know Rosita's a strong fighter, and just to have her go for this one moment and it's just like she's freaking out just annoyed me, and I wish they had done something different. So I gotta take off points there for that. After that, you got Gabriel who goes to visit Dante in jail. Now, he questioned him about if he ever had a son, because he mentioned having a son in his interview tape. And you got Gabriel who just questions him on everything that's happened. And, Dante goes back to spatting on about how everything that they built is a lie. It's going to fall eventually. And Gabriel gets furious and he yells at him. And he gets mad saying that he saw Sadiq as a brother. Now, this is a part where I just got kind of annoyed about because we barely saw the 2 characters on screen together. So that just felt like they forced it in there. I get what they were going for, but it just felt forced and unnecessary. But I get what they're going for. But then you got Gabriel who freaks out and ends up killing Dante in cold blood. So I love that moment, especially when he just keeps going at him and stabbing him back and forth. I really love that side of Gabriel. And then he ends up seeing what he did and starts breaking down, which I really like because it keeps his humanity intact and what his character's about. But I still like what they did with the character here because I felt like it was something that was needed in his character development. Now, meanwhile, I got Daryl who leads the group to go check out the information from Gamma. Now, him and Carol have a moment which I really liked, and I'm glad they added it in here because he ends up having a conversation with her because he feels like she never got off the boat. And he feels like she's keeping things from her, and it reminds her that the 2 of them have this bond of close friendship that they need to keep, and that she needs to keep telling him these things and keep him in the loop. So I really like that. I like how they added that in there. But they end up going to where the herd was supposed to be, and it's not there. So they get frustrated. Aerith's trying to defend Gamma, and they end up heading back. However, as they head back, you got Carol who ends up seeing Alpha, and Daryl tells her to go and leave her. But Carol chases after them, which everybody else follows her, and they end up falling into a cave and end up surrounded by walkers. Now, I'm kind of annoyed about the cliffhanger ending because it just feels like a repeat from last season. So I don't like it. I gotta take off points there. And Carol just annoyed me more. Now, last week, quickly got the story regarding Michonne and her group at Oceanside. Now, Michonne and her group arrive at Oceanside, and they inform the Oceanside people about Dante being a spy and inform them to heighten up their security measures in regards to taking in new people. But while they're talking about that, they're interrupted by the arrival of a new individual who saved Luke earlier in the episode when they were stopped at a library. Now, I'm very interested to see what goes on here because I have a feeling, like everybody else does, that this is going to have to do with Michonne's exit. So I'm very curious to see what goes on here. And I love the actor who plays this new character, Virgil. I loved him from The Leftovers, and I'm excited to see him on this new show. But you got him who they run into. They run into some issues with walkers. He tries to escape, but Judith stops him. But I really love what they did with this character. It was a very interesting concept because he's a guy trying to get back to his family, kind of mirroring what like the Rick movies will be like, with Rick trying to get back to his family. And I feel like it kind of helped with Michonne being the one who had the story, because I think it worked out very well. Because I like what they did with him. And I like how they used her and Judith to talk to him, because I feel like when they both talked to her, they were able to get information from this new character that they could use later on. So I like what they did there. And I like how he talks about Judith, how like she's a strong survivor, she's like the devil, which I found funny. And you know how he talks about how there's not a lot of mercy left in this world. And then Michonne brings up the whole "my mercy prevails over my wrath." Now I know a lot of people are talking about how, oh my god, she referenced Rick. However, if you go back to the premiere episode of season 8, it's actually Siddiq who originally said that. So I like how they kind of tied that back in with Siddiq dying, and that line being brought back up. So I really like how they brought that back full circle. But after talking to Virgil, you got Michonne who decides she's going to go with him and help him, because he offers to help them with guns and supplies to help them fight their enemies. So Michonne decides to go with him, and she says goodbye to the rest of the group as she heads out. And I'm assuming that she's either going to, one, come back, or when she comes back, there's going to be something that ends up having her leave again, permanently leaving the show, possibly. So, yeah, I'm very interested to see what goes on here, and I'm interested to see what goes on with Michonne's exit, if this is somehow connected to it. Overall, if I had to give this episode a grade, I'd give it an 8 out of 10. I think it was a strong episode, but just a little bit weak for a mid-season finale. So, overall, did enjoy it, but just feel like there could have been a bit more that they could have added in just to make it a little bit better for me. So yeah, guys, it's my review of The Walking Dead Season 10, Episode 8, The World Before. As always, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and share. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and hit that bell icon. That would miss any more Walking Dead content from me moving forward. And you can go follow me on Instagram and Twitter, which are linked in the About section on my YouTube channel. As always, it's been Vision here with Blind Entertainment, and I'll see you next time.